Video from Argentina shows Vice President Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner shaking hands with her supporters when a Brazilian national identified as Fernando Andre Montiel points a .380 semi-automatic pistol in her face. Fernando pulls the trigger, but you can hear an audible click. That's either when the gun misfires or the safety's been on, or it wasn't even chambered. Now, immediately following the video, Argentinian police arrested Fernando for his failed attempt on Kirchner's life. Kirchner served as the country's president from 2007 to 2015 and took office as vice president in 2019. What you might not know is that Fernandez de Kirchner has been the subject of a corruption scandal, in which just last week the lead prosecutor in the case asked a federal court in Buenos Aires to sentence her to 12 years in jail and ban her from holding public office. The corruption trial specifically accuses Fernandez de Kirchner, along with 13 others, on the awarding of public works contracts in the Patagonian province of Santa Cruz. The case focuses on a 12-year time period starting in the early 2000s, during which 51 contracts were awarded to companies owned by this guy, Lazaro Baez. He's a businessman, and he's also a close friend and associate of the Kirchners. Baez, who was convicted last year for money laundering, oddly went from being a bank employee to founding a construction company inside of just a few days before Kirchner's husband and former president, Nestor Kirchner, took office in 2003. The prosecution claims that nearly 80% of public works contracts in Santa Cruz between 2003 and 2015 went to Baez at inflated prices or with at least other special considerations. On another note, out of those 51 contracts, 24 weren't even completed. The public in Argentina is divided right down the middle, however. After the prosecution completed closing arguments on Monday, August 22nd, supporters and detractors faced off outside our high-end home in Buenos Aires where 14 law enforcement officers were injured and 4 people were arrested. The trial isn't going away anytime soon, though. It's been going on for 3 years now, and the next step is to have each of the 13 defendants in the case provide their closing statements. If convicted, she would still theoretically be able to run for office in the next election cycle, given timelines for appeals and the necessity for the sentence to be levied. Regardless, she should probably buy a lottery ticket or something. That's going to be it for this episode. If you want to buy stuff that actually works, like optics and other outdoors gear, check out our sponsor for this episode, EuroOptic. EuroOptic has really started taking over a lot of my gear pickups given their shipping times and real-time inventory. The stock is always real-time, so you know that it's going to be there if it says it is, and you have to love a veteran-owned company providing programs for law enforcement, military, and even outfitters and guides. They have red shipping options for 1-day and 2-day arrivals at no extra charge too. Head over to EuroOptic now, hit the like, sub, bell, and stay informed.